Hey my friends, this is Davey speaking. Welcome to another one of our videos. My brothers, there are many addictions in humanity. Many of them are fought against. People do everything they can to try to make others aware so they don't get into it. But there is an addiction that used to be more common among powerful people, among those who ruled over others. Many have succumbed due to this addiction. But nowadays, right, with the democratization of information, today anyone can become famous, well known, right? All it takes is standing out with a cell phone or a camera. This has opened the door for many people to develop certain addictions. And the addiction I'm talking about is an obsession with appearance, right? In my opinion, people should be made aware of it like any other addiction. An obsession with appearance, my brother, is something that goes way beyond just wanting to improve yourself. Starting to play sports, starting to take care of your body, thinking about improving how your body works, your well-being, and so on, that's a good thing. Some people totally lose themselves along the way. And they end up becoming slaves to it. Completely enslaved. These are people who often lose their own comfort, right? In the desperate attempt to maintain certain standards, which you can manage for a while, but to keep it up all the time is almost impossible. But the person gets into that and thinks right feels terrible without it. It's an addiction like any other. So my brothers, this young man here, in Thailand, I'll show you. He was, as they describe here in the article, something called androgenic. What is this androgenic? What is that? I've never heard of it, even though we make videos here all the time, right? So after doing a quick search on Google, here it is. Any substance, usually a steroid hormone like testosterone, that stimulates the control of development and maintenance of male characteristics in vertebrates. So this guy used this kind of substance, right? To maintain this image here, which I'm going to show you. Look, the tip came from our brother, Filmes Historicos. Big hug to him. Here it is. Fitness influencer Conal Muff. He drowned in Thailand. He was injecting liquid gold. That's what his friends say. My brothers, this is also about spirituality. Let me show you. This article is from September 10, 2026, and it says the following. The bodybuilder and influencer Conal Muff, known for producing content about Lux Maxi, right? Or is it Lux Marching? Is that it? A movement focused on maximizing male physical appearance. He reportedly started injecting liquid gold into his own body just a few weeks before he passed away, according to friends. The exact circumstances of the influencer's death are still being investigated by authorities in Thailand, where he passed away. In a video circulating on social media, the androgynous influencer, whose real name is Ronan, said that Muff developed an obsession with the substance. There it is again, folks. He started to become obsessed with gold. He began to believe that gold was a mineral controlled by higher beings and that it granted special powers when ingested, such as the ability to access other dimensions at higher levels of consciousness. Now, my brother, it's a very interesting thing. There's a theory, right? The ancient astronaut theory, right? That actually raises this hypothesis, right? Anyone who's watched something related knows what I'm talking about. If you pay attention to the offerings to the ancient gods, you'll see it was always a lot of gold, right? Kings and queens all over the world used to stockpile this gold. And they said that this gold was offered to the gods. And a lot of this gold simply disappeared. Some historians believe that it may have been hidden, right? In very deep holes in the ground and so on. But the fact is that much of this ancient gold has disappeared. And then you get these theories, like the ancient astronaut theory, that these gods really took these offerings of gold. In the movie Predator vs. Alien, we also see this, right? They show that humans themselves, right, were created. They took humans and caused them to evolve so that we could have the intelligence to work. And the cat is here, right, family? You can see him, right? This is Farofa, okay? Let me pick him up so you can see him. The naughty bunch is here. They don't leave me alone. Look, hey, look, say hi, Farofa. But he keeps rubbing himself here, family. You know how it is, right? We don't play with the cat plays with us. And here's the thing. I was talking about Predator over there. There, it shows that in this case, humans were enhanced so that humans could work, understand orders, and extract this gold and similar minerals so they could take them. And there are several theories about the reason for this, right? One of them is that gold would be better for building spaceships, right? Of technologies, including ones that could make it possible to travel from our world to another. And here we can see a little that this guy believed in that, right? We can see a little here, my brothers. Here, look. He started to become obsessed with gold. He started to believe that gold was a mineral controlled by higher beings and that it granted special powers when ingested, with the ability to access other dimensions and higher levels of consciousness. This is very similar to what Adolf Hitler also thought. He also thought this way. The problem, my brothers, is that when the story of these figures is told, part of it, someone with the power to do so, says, that's not interesting. No, that's nonsense. Don't include it. You can probably imagine the reasons. According to Ronan, Murphy showed physical signs related to the use of the substance, such as changes in skin color. He also reportedly started painting the walls of his own house with gold. He simply plunged into complete madness. Apparently, he was out of his mind, the young man stated. In an interview with TMZ, Tony Rouge, another friend of the influencer, confirmed that Murphy used gold but said he noticed changes that he considered positive, describing the influencer as bolder, braver, and more energetic. Basically, this friend of his most likely also agrees with these theories. In Rouge's opinion, the use of the substance made Murphy take on a sort of alternate personality, leading him to adopt increasingly extreme behaviors to improve his appearance and create content for the internet. When Murphy passed away last Tuesday the 7th after drowning in a lake in Samut Prakan province, Thailand. According to local police and reports, he got into an altercation with officers due to his behavior, which was considered erratic. While escaping, he jumped into the lake and drowned. Well, my brothers, you can see here that this article, while it talks about the guy ingesting gold, at no point did they bother to look into how harmful this is to the body, right? How harmful this is. And notice that this isn't the first international example we've seen of someone eating gold, right? Remember Salt Bay? I think that was his name, right? That guy who used to do that seasoning thing. We even made a video about him, right? That guy also started popularizing this. Several players even paid a real fortune for little pieces of meat just because it was seasoned, right? It was like this, right, guys? Like this. With gold, right? So these guys have delusions of grandeur, my brother. They think they're demigods, direct descendants of these entities. That's what Hitler believed. Starting from the premise that we were created by these intelligences, what do these guys suggest? A part of the population, that's their theory. We don't support that. Just to be clear, quite the opposite, right? We are radically against this theory, this absurd way of thinking, right? But they imagine the following, that a part of the population was created to work. They took animals, upgraded them so they could understand orders and in this way complete the work. The other part would have a direct lineage from them. The Egyptians, for example, also considered the pharaoh this way. It was a direct lineage from these superior entities, right? And so these should command the others of lesser ability. It's a theory. Everything is connected, family. With the mustached guys. Everything is connected. The mustached guy didn't invent this. But it's a way of thinking that some people, developed. And they believe it explains our own history. And you see that this guy was going down that same path. At no point, even though he talked about the gold he ingested and changes in his skin, did he say it was bad for his health or that this shouldn't be criticized, right? The guy had 3 million followers, and you can see how powerful that is, how it ends up encouraging, and being accepted by another part of the population. The guy had 3 million followers. He was blowing up, sending out tons of content. And this story that he ran away when there was going to be an inspection and drowned is very suspicious. I would tell you with 100% certainty that there's something fishy about this situation. They're hiding a lot from us, my brothers. You can smell it in the report. It's very poorly explained and told. Now, will we ever find out about this, right? From the authorities, I think it's very unlikely. What we can do is go by the clues we have. After all, it's very far away too, right? Thailand isn't a country we're very familiar with. But I'm telling you, this is going to spread, right? These old beliefs for now can't be openly fought, right? Everything can be characterized, especially here in our country, as an attack on minorities and so on, right? That they need protection. We know they do. But if you also shut down the debate, right? If you shut down criticism, everything can be interpreted as some kind of ism in the end. It's really a complicated thing, right? We are not in favor in any way of attacking or discriminating against anyone. Now, we also know that criticism had the power to correct this. Speaking spiritually, my brothers, this worship, this way of seeing higher entities, yes, this opens a gap according to our own Holy Bible. This opens the door for the evil one to act. That's a fact, right? All idolatry is like that in the Bible. All idolatry opens the door for the evil one to act. So gold is just another thing created by God, right? Among so many others. But if you start putting your heart into that, if you think that's everything in your life, and you see how much money these guys make just to start buying gold to ingest, right? Imagine the fortune these guys make. And they make money because of the people's own idolatry. 3 million followers. Look at where we're ending up, right, my brothers? Anyway, so let this be an example, right? And let's keep an eye out. If I find out anything else about this case, or if you know something, send it to us at contact@encarandosobrenatural@gmail. By the way, contact Encarando Sobrenatural. I'll put the correct address there for you. Send it to us. gmail.com. That's right. Contato encarandosobrenatural5@gmail.com. Send it to us. If you know anything about this case, we can make a part 2, make a more thoroughly documented video. Anyway, my brothers, I'm making the video now. I'm not sure if you got it before or after, but I'm also making one about the truck drivers' strike, which probably came out first. But anyway, that's it, my brothers. I'll stay here with Farofa. She's here nudging my hand while it's on the mouse. Whole family, these cats here are complicated. That's it. God bless you, my brothers. Hugs, and leave your opinion down below. I'm out.